12th sign. This consists of 3 examples that are related to the 11th sign, but are of the greatest importance. First example, and when you threw, it was not you who threw, it was rather God that threw. Quran, chapter 8, verse 17. As established by the researches of all Quranic commentators and the reports of the scholars of Hadith, this verse refers to the following incident that occurred during the Battle of Badr. God's noble messenger, upon whom be blessings and peace, took up a handful of earth and small stones and threw them at the army of the unbelievers, saying, "May your faces be deformed." And just as these words entered the ears of all of them, despite being a single phrase, so too the handful of earth entered all their eyes. They all became preoccupied with their eyes, and although on the attack, the army suddenly turned tail and fled. Also, during the Battle of Hunayn, the authorities on Hadith and foremost Imam Muslim report that, like at the Battle of Badr, he again threw a handful of earth while the unbelievers were staging a fierce attack, saying, "May your faces be deformed." The handful of earth struck the faces of each of them, with God's leave, the same as words of the phrase entered all their ears. Busy with their eyes, they retreated and fled. Since this extraordinary event at Badr and Hunayn is not within man's power and ordinary causes, the Qur'an of Miraculous Exposition states, "When you threw, it was not you who threw, it was rather God that threw." That is, the event was outside human power. It occurred not through human agency, but in an extraordinary manner, through divine power. Second example, the accurate books and foremost Bukhari and Muslim narrate that during the Hiba expedition, a Jewess roasted a goat, filling it with a very strong poison. She then sent it to God's messenger, upon whom be blessings and peace. The companions had begun to eat it, when the Prophet, upon whom be blessings and peace, suddenly said, "Withdraw your hands. It tells me it is poisoned." Everyone pulled back his hand, but Bishr bin al-Bara had eaten a single morsel and died from the effects of the severe poison. The noble messenger, upon whom be blessings and peace, sent for the Jewess called Zainab and asked her why she had done it. The inauspicious woman retorted, "I considered that if you were a prophet, it would not harm you, and if you were a king, I would save the people from you." According to some narrations, the Prophet, upon whom be peace, did not have her put to death, but left her to Bishr's family to be killed. Now listen to a few points demonstrating aspects of the miraculousness in this extraordinary incident. The first, according to one narration, some of the companions also heard the goat speaking. The second, according to another, God's messenger, upon whom be peace, said, "Say Bismillah, in the name of God, then eat. The poison will not affect you." Ibn Hajar al-Asqalani does not accept this narration, but others do. The third, the treacherous Jews wanted to deal a sudden blow at God's messenger, upon whom be blessings and peace, and his close companions. But being informed about this from the unseen, the Prophet's "upon whom be peace" warning proved true, and their plot was uncovered and brought to naught. And when Muhammad, upon whom be peace, from whom the companions never heard an untrue statement, said, "This goat tells me that such and such," everyone believed him with conviction, as sure as if they themselves had heard the goat. Third example, this consists of 3 instances of another miracle which resembles the shining hand and staff of Moses. The first, Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal, explaining and authenticating a narration from Abu Sa'id al-Khudri, reports, "One dark and stormy night, the noble messenger, upon whom be blessings and peace, gave Qatada bin al-Nu'man a staff, saying, 'This staff will light up 10 yards all around you. You will see a dark shadow when you arrive at your house. It is Satan. throw him out of the house and drive him away." Qatada took the staff and set off. It cast a light like Moses' shining hand. He came to his house, where he saw the shadowy figure, and he drove it away. The second, while fighting the idolaters during the great battle of Badr, itself a source of wonders, Ukasha bin Muhassin al-Asadi had his sword broken. God's noble messenger, upon whom be blessings and peace, gave him a stout staff in place of it, saying, "Fight with this." Suddenly, with God's leave, the staff became a long white sword, and he fought with it. He carried the sword on his person for the rest of his life, until he fell as a martyr during the Battle of al-Yamama. This incident is certain, because throughout his life he carried the sword with pride, and it became famous with the name of Succor. Thus, two proofs of this incident are Ukasha's pride and the sword's name, Succor, and its widespread fame. The third, it is narrated by authorities on Hadith like Ibn Abd al-Barr, a celebrated scholar known as the Scholar of the Age, that at the Battle of Uhud, the sword of Abdullah bin Jahsh, a cousin of the God's messenger, upon whom be blessings and peace, was broken. The messenger, upon whom be peace, gave him a staff, and it turned into a sword in his hand. He fought with it, and after the battle that product of a miracle remained a sword. In his Siyar, the well-known Ibn Sayyid al-Nas reports that sometime later, Abdullah sold the sword to a man called Bugah al-Turki for 200 liras. Thus these two swords were each miracle, like the staff of Moses. But while no aspect of miraculousness remained in his staff after Moses' death, these swords remained unchanged.